Bear with me. Looks good enough. So things are going good. Been in the dev area helping out a lot today with basically bug testing. Got over some hurdles. Had to rewrite a bunch of code. Omar did, and Adrian and the dev team. So yeah, we're chugging along. We had to push things back a little bit, but not too much, and everything's on track. Well, as much as on track can be, as you know, we're already technically behind, so a little bit. So struggling to hear you a little bit. Let me double check this. Oh, that mic's off. Test, test. Can you hear me better now? I can put it up. Hey, Alan. Sorry, Alan. Much better. Here we go. Now it's hanging. Whatever. We'll work it out. So the dev team is working their ass off. Tanya's in there, they're busting it. Theo's killing it. Everybody's on fire. With that said, we are missing Angelina today. She, I think she's doing some haircut thing or something. I don't know. But so we're down one person, but other than that, we're doing really well. The important players on the dev side are all in full swing. And I think they pushed back the clock a little bit on the launch, so the website should be updated if hopefully that went through. I did want to go over a little news. There's a lot happening in crypto. A lot ties into, hey, Yenna, dude, what we were talking about yesterday, and there is more activity. I also read, I don't have a link to it, but I read an article on one of the individuals, the main people in charge of the Commodities Future Trading Commission or whatnot, and they seem very interested in regulating crypto, and honestly they sound a little less malignant than the SEC does. The SEC actually is coming across as very, I saw a tweet by the SEC, and the guy there is like, yeah, we just want to help out with, just bring some, sense of security to this, and I'm kind of torn. Like, boy, it sounds like he's selling it hard. It sounds like a really good pitch. Sounds like they just really want to help the industry out so it can grow and thrive. And he does make some good points. Like, we've been doing this for like basically 100 years, and securities, and we're the most trusted, securities on the planet, and we set the bar up here, and it sounds like a good pitch. The reality is, those of you who are already in crypto, I'm happy you're on board, but you're not our target market. You're not. Those that are in crypto right now represent, in the U.S. at least, about 16% of adults. That leaves 84% of adults, a Red Rebel, 84% that are, we'll call them an untapped resource. And for whatever reason, maybe they can't afford it, maybe they don't invest, maybe they don't save money, maybe. But I know personally a lot of them do. They do want to invest, they do want to be in crypto, they don't want to be in bad crypto, they don't want to be the fool, because crypto has this reputation that it these projects soar 8, 10, 20 times, and then they drop 8, 10, 20 times. They don't want to be part of that, and they're not day traders like looking to just put it in at the right time, ride the wave up, cash out, find the next one, ride the wave up. They don't have time for that. They're more like long-term investors, and that's who we want. That's who our target market is the average person, not just the crypto aficionado, where like you and me. If we just target ourselves, then we're never going to grow this thing. So we're looking to that 84%. We're looking at ways, and you're going to see a lot of things come out on our front that you're like, hey, they're not really targeting me, they're not really speaking to me, it's going to be good for you. But you're going to see a lot of what we do upcoming targeting to that 84%, the untapped resource, not the people in crypto today, but the people that we hope are in crypto tomorrow. And if they are going to move towards crypto, we want to be one of the reasons why. I just kind of want to put that out there because I don't want you guys to feel like we don't care. We really do. We just know that if crypto as an industry is going to grow and thrive and prosper, the growth is not going to come from within. It's going to come from the outside, people that have been on the fence pouring into it. Because honestly, aside from the bad juju that crypto has earned, aside from that, crypto's freaking amazing. I love crypto. I don't like crypto. I love crypto. I love coins. I love the technology behind it. I love the fact that it breaks barriers. I love the idea as a libertarian that it is something that, the idea that there can be a little anonymity. I love all of that. I'm for it. I'm a huge fan. I'm just not a huge fan of going back to the regulation, the way it's been kind of handled, and we don't really hear about a lot of accountability, and that kind of bothers me. I want to, when somebody is either intentionally malicious or neglectful to the point where it's like they're completely inept and they wreck people's savings because they're just idiots. I want to see people go to jail. Like if we do something to out of just being just totally, willfully, negligent, I think there's got to be accountability. Like, you're dealing with people's hard-earned money, you're dealing with their livelihood, and we want to see some accountability. So I'm going to get to some. I don't want to bore you guys with news, but for some people, I know that they say that this is the only place they really kind of get that stuff. So I'm going to go over a couple things really quick that I picked out of the news that I think, and I'm going to give you my take on them. No videos. I do want to do some videos in the future, but I'm going to give you kind of my take on it so that maybe you have the same opinion, maybe you don't. So this one, nice pop-up, some guy's face. You guys probably saw all about this. Hackers drained 200 million. I read the article, and they're saying that there was a vulnerability. And once it was discovered, of course, the bandwagon jumped on board from the Nomad token bridge. For those that don't know, these blockchains are like their own ecosystems, and people build these tools that act as a bridge between one blockchain to the other. And Nomad was one of those bridges so that you can connect these ecosystems. It's a really cool thing, but apparently it's a weak point where I guess these bridges and their various incarnations have been hacked over and over. And I don't know if this is a third major one in the hundreds of millions, but it's something that seems to keep happening for some reason. So probably not wise to keep. I want to tell you guys where, as far as I can tell, where you should keep your money. And if your money is in if it's anything other than MetaMask or Trust Wallet, if you have currency sitting staked somewhere, you're like, oh, I'm earning a annual percent. I staked with this or that. Be wary, because any of these things that, even if they look completely benign and really healthy, that they might financially be run well. They might this, they might that. But if their code base is weak and they've proven time and time again that they're getting hacked, and they're vulnerable, then something's run amok. So it's probably not the last hack we've heard of, or vulnerability. This thing was just, we talk about how much testing we have going on in the background. This is a vulnerability where once it was released, all they had to do, you had to just push this line of code to it, change the receiver address on it, and it would basically spit out tokens to you. It's a cash machine. And once it went basically live with, I guess they did a big upgrade of the coin code. They obviously didn't test it right, and because they left a huge vulnerability and they didn't test it properly, boom, everybody, they lost 200 million of their holders money. So yeah, that's big. This is why testing and not rushing is way more important than just getting it to when it feels good. Because if it's not vetted properly, I can tell you that when it comes to quality control, you definitely, you want to have a little more patience, because the amount of setback there, I don't know if this will sink them, but for most people, that would $200 million hit, and anyone that's still involved, if they save their money, you think they're going to trust them? I doubt it. They would be fools, but the world is full of a lot of fools, so maybe. But so that was kind of the big news. I know that you guys are onto that even before I was, so you're hearing it after the fact. This ties in, oh man, these freaking pop-ups. So this ties right in this other article, Binance delist token after SEC calls it a security. The SEC is positioning, guys. And so right now, I know that there's some push to have it their own crypto regulator built just for crypto. That's a very, very niche push. There's really, as far as two big Goliaths battling for jurisdiction over crypto, you guys need to understand the SEC, Security Exchange Commission, which is the one that does all the stock market and all that kind of stuff. And then there's the Commodities Future Trading Commission. And I think it's CFTC or something like that. And that one does everything from futures to, metals, things like that. So they're both jockeying for position. Now, it looks like the one for the commodities, it looks like they're a little more wanted to remain neutral, although both are, we want to be technology neutral. That's the big phrase that they're talking about. It's basically a way that they're saying that it shouldn't matter what technology is behind they behave in this way, and they can therefore regulate. But if they don't know the technology and they're not keen on the technology scope of what's possible, then for me, they're starting off with ignorance coming out of their fucking mouth, because the coins, cryptocurrency is all about the technology. That's the backbone of it. If you're saying that you don't care about the technology, or you're neutral to it and it shouldn't matter, then you don't get it. It does matter, and not all technology is the same. So not all blockchains, ecosystems are the same. It's all has different potential. So I would like to see someone recognize that technology is integral to these coins. It's the backbone of how it operates and what it does. So all right, the SEC right now is winning. I'm gonna put it out there, not because it on any merit has more authority over the CF. I don't know either one has which more authority, right? But the SEC is more active. It's doing more. It's stepping up and inserting its influence into the crypto market in ways. And this right here, it didn't even do anything or send a thing to Binance saying, "Hey, you better do this." But by interacting with Coinbase and telling Coinbase they consider this a security, Binance said, "Well, that's all it took. That's all it took for them to drop the token from their exchange." So all that tells me is as the SEC starts to assert its authority in different ways, so if they consider all tokens to be a security, is Binance going to drop everything, right? If they consider half, you could see potentially half the coins get dropped out of an exchange. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that. It makes me wary of exchanges if they're not willing to back the tokens that they've classified not as a security. And the SEC just has to not even say something to them, say something over to their neighbor, and they just delist something. That means that for me, it means that decentralized exchanges are the way to go. They're beyond the SEC can't. There's nobody to talk to with a decentralized exchange. That's why we could have done it a lot of ways with our Get Anubit Now button. But our Get Anubit Now button, the way it works, just so you guys get a little glimpse underneath the scene, is we did not build it. I know you guys haven't used it yet. We did not build it to send directly from us to you. It doesn't actually do that. It does something a little more clever. It actually funnels the transaction through the DEX, through the decentralized exchange, and the DEX sends the people their token. We don't actually send anyone any token. We just initiate a transaction through the DEX, and the DEX, the decentralized exchange handles the transaction. I think that's going to put us in a really good position, because they can't delist us. When we have that going, people want to buy our Anubit, they can't take it down because it's going through the DEX. What are they going to do? It's like an automated service that just operates. So I'm really happy we made that, and it's becoming more clear every day that we made the right choice on that. But I am with the centralized exchange. One thing we talk about the decentralized, like PancakeSwap and Uniswap and all those things that just run as their own like automated function on the blockchain. But these centralized exchanges, the SEC has somebody to hold accountable, and that they're cowing right now is basically, at least Binance is. Whatever that says about Binance, they're definitely they're feeling the heat, and they want to try to avoid. I think they're making a terrible decision. I'll just be frank, because the battle's coming, and eventually they're going to start cowing now, cowing. I say that just because that's really what they're doing, and to try to avoid a conflict, and I don't think it's going to serve them well, because all they're doing is kicking the can down the road and losing ground and losing precedent. And if they had some cojones and they stayed strong and unified in some of these larger labs like Ripple and Binance, that's a huge exchange, Coinbase, if they start banding together with these tokens that are under fire, then that was showing a little solidarity and not being such pussies, then I think that they would actually be in a much stronger position. But Binance is signaling to the market right now, before they even have someone sending a letter, they're delisting something, and it's kind of sad. It's like, whatever. I don't know who made the decision, but it does set precedent. So expect there to be more movement in that direction. It all depends on how the machine is working now, as far as like U.S. regulators and how much pressure they're going to start exerting. So far, almost every day you're seeing some way the SEC, whether they're insider trading or bust people on front running, or they did a pyramid scheme that they're busting people on, they are taking the initiative. So I don't think it's going to, if they keep it up, they're going to be just the de facto regulators, because they're the only ones actually doing anything, whether they should be the ones that are not. So this just goes into more detail, talks about the gravitational pull. Some of this might be spin, I don't know, but yeah, delisting is going to be a big thing upcoming with these U.S. exchanges. So those of us inside the U.S., this is going to be a factor. So there is ways that you can, I don't want to go into too many details, but it could get, it could actually be good for us. So if you're wondering, well, how does that affect my Anubit coin, my position? Well, when when the exchanges become something that is less attractive, then the market will look for other ways. We're positioning ourselves so that we're not reliant on an exchange. I want them, 100%. No joke. I want to be on exchanges. We're going to be on exchanges. But the question is, are they the only vehicle for the people to purchase our token? And right now, when it comes to you have to come through an exchange and buy BNB, and then trade BNB for Pancake, and then you end up with on Pancake for our token. It's kind of a hassle. We're going to cut through all the red tape. People can go right for it, and it looks like we're going to be able to onboard the UK almost like the second afterwards. We're going to have UK going as well. So that's kind of exciting. And we're looking at, I think we're going to have, so far what we have is US, UK's coming on board for the GAN. We have debit cards, ACH, we have Afterpay and some of those buy now, pay laters available. And then we've got Apple Pay and Google Pay. So yeah, we're going to have lots of options right through our own Get Anubit Now button. Yeah, so this was article I found. It's just relevant. The only way to do it with the credit card right now isn't directly through a credit card if you're buying crypto. You actually have to load the card on Google Pay or Apple Pay before you do it. I guess those have more protection because it's more authenticated and it's less. It's harder for people to do the whole bullshit of reversing transactions and saying it's harder to say, oh, it wasn't me, if it's through Google or Apple than if you just take a random credit card payment over the internet. I found this kind of relevant. So this is actually New York. Not only do you have the feds, a la the SEC, coming after crypto, and you have and bad actors do need to be stamped out. I'm for it. Okay, if you're wondering my position, I'm weary of who's doing the stamping, right? Who's stomping on people. But you got to worry about the SEC, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, and state regulators. So this one, it's New York coming after Robinhood. I'm not a huge fan of Robinhood, so they did people kind of dirty, and while people seem to have a short memory of it and just moved on, I'm kind of like, people do that stuff. You kind of burn me. I would never support them, but if they're doing bad business, but it seems like it's the same thing. People, regulation. You gotta pay the piper basically in order to do business, and so New York's gonna take its slice of bacon, if you would. I thought this. I don't know if you guys have seen this. First Binance Soulbound token, BAB targets KYC user credentials. Do you guys know of anything like this? Is this because it just kind of like it's brand new. I mean, I guess this article is from yesterday. Anything? Have you ever heard of a soulbound token? Bueller? Anyone? No, I hadn't either. I want to look at the token code. We were actually thinking about something like this for our KYC system for our wallets. So I definitely want to learn more. It's something that we could easily on our account system for Get Anubit Now. We could send a soulbound token to all the wallets. And I'm excited about the prospects so that once we've vetted a wallet thoroughly, we can send our soulbound token, or maybe we can borrow theirs. I don't know if we can, piggyback off of them. I don't know if they'll allow that because maybe Binance, honestly, their KYC is horrible. I went over that article. They complain, they bitch and moan about losing billions of dollars on their KYC, and 90% of their customer base is gone because of KYC. I'm like, I don't think it's gone because of KYC. I think it's gone because you fucking suck. But sorry, but yeah, they're terrible at it. It's slow, groggy. It takes days or weeks. A month. I think it was like a month and a half. Mine was stuck in limbo on their KYC, and I'm submitting tickets and stuff. And finally, I've moved on to the next stage. And now I had to resubmit. I'm verifying. I'm like, you guys fucking suck. That's why you're losing so much. So anyway, I think the idea here, the concept of a soul-bound token to the account, that all it does, it doesn't reveal any info. All it does is symbolize to anyone that sees the presence of that token that the account has been thoroughly vetted. And I love the idea that they're getting in the game on their blockchain of doing that. I really want to do the same for us, so that we can clearly see which, through the blockchain, which accounts have been vetted by us previously, and as long as they're soulbound, they can be transferred. It's a wonderful idea. I think it's going to find other ways to be implemented that are going to be very helpful, whether it's voting or other things. A soulbound wallet token is kind of cool. So, I mean, I can go a little bit into this. BAB token is exclusively for online identification. It belongs to the type of soulbound token proposed on the Ethereum creator Vitalik. The more I learn about Vitalik, the dude's smart. I guess there's some drama with him, like he did some shitty stuff, or I don't know if he was. I don't want to spread any rumors or anything, but there's some online stuff that suggests that he might not be the best guy. But one thing he definitely is, if these are truly his thoughts and his brainchild, his creation, is he was pretty brilliant. SBTs are soulbound tokens are non-transferable, non-financially designed for DSOC. According to announcement, Binance is the first ever soulbound token issued on the BNB Smart Chain, which suggests that there's other soulbound tokens on other chains. If you guys can link me them, name them, so I can look them up, I can dig into their token code. I don't want to reinvent the wheel here, because I just want to copy what other people have done on this, especially if it's done really well. Tokens aimed at many different use cases, but will initially serve as Binance Know Your Customer credentials. So from when they implement this, if you have a Binance wallet and you're credentialed and everything, they're going to basically, whether you like it or not, send a BAB token that latches onto your account. It sits in your account, and you don't have to do anything really. It'll just be there, and it'll show its presence on your account in the blockchain. There's really nothing you can do about it. It's attached to your wallet address forever. So anyway, there was previously no method to identify Binance users or Binance KYC users on the BNB chain. See, here's what they don't tell you. So you buy, let's say you buy some BNB from Binance. It goes into your Binance wallet, right? Which basically is owned by them. And then they know that that's your wallet now. Well, now you send it out of that wallet into your MetaMask wallet. You just do a transfer. Well, hey, guess what? Now they don't know whether you send it to another person or you send it to yourself. They don't know. You can make a wallet with 50 addresses in it, and you can send it. They don't know. All those transfers just look like they're going to anybody. You can't really tell. So it's kind of, I don't know. It's a little, it's a cool idea that they track the origin on their Binance network, but I would think they would know. They created the wallet for people anyway. It seems a little redundant. So maybe I'm stupid. So, all right, I'm gonna get back to this. I don't see a lot of chat. You guys are a little more chatty. Are you guys still there, or did I talk your ear off, or what? If I don't see anything, then you guys are gonna think I'm gonna think you're, or you guys are gonna think I'm going mad. Someone's going mad. Let's see if I can get the mouse to work. I'm getting no chat. Hey, Tondri. Let me test it now. Just lurking. All right, there we go. Everyone's super quiet. I see viewers, so I'm like, all right, I see viewers out there. You guys are just like mum's a word. So I'll tell you what, I covered the news. Sorry, something is up with chat. No worries. So I'm going to get back to testing with Omar. If you guys want to see the snake, he just stepped away from his desk. He's been pretty much bound to it. Come over here, Omar. He's you lost your mind. So we're gonna get back to testing. I don't know if you want to tell them how progress. I told them a little bit about the struggle with reflection, the minting, the airdropping, and how you every time you fixed two of the three things, one of the three kept breaking in a circle, and
well, first of all, it's never been done before. Nobody makes a minting reflection token.
So you're the OG original minting reflection token.
Not
Why
only
are
reflection along with all the other stuff that we have in it?
Yeah, in case you guys don't know, it's reflection is incredibly complex to integrate with other features. Most of the people that take like a Safe Moon type token or something like that,
Safe Moon clones, they just copy the Safe Moon clone.
They don't change anything.
Yeah.
And because if they did, they probably don't know how.
Not to mention our 1% fee that's broken down into other smaller percentages.
Yeah, they do whole fees. Yeah. They don't do like micro percent of a percent.
It's a different type of math.
Yeah.
It's not complex math, but it's a different type of math. You know, you're talking about not having fractions. Since you don't have fractions in a contract, there's no such thing as fractions in the solidity.
There's no decimal points.
No decimal points.
There's no fractions.
Mm-hmm.
It's you're like, oh wait, so how do you do some of those small numbers without decimal points and fractions and other when you're doing a percent of a small chunk, like 0.2 of a it's like you gotta figure it out. And anyway, so he was struggling for what ended up being way too long, several days. Several days.
One tiny problem was 2 days.
Yeah.
With all of us working on it.
Yeah, people don't know. We do have messages from some of the holders, not some that are messaging, just like texting me and stuff like that know my personal cell phone number, which is awesome. But they're like, take your time, do it right. We don't want to end up like one of the people getting hacked for 200 million.
Yeah, that's one of the security is first and foremost. I mean, when we make a change to something, we go back in and we run our tests. We have a battery of tests that we run on it, but then there's the ones that the tests don't catch that you have to look for also. So
yeah,
I mean, you always have to stay on top of it. There's no magic.
Well, we did a. There's been no penetration whatsoever on version 1. We're using the same methodology. So basically between testing, like everyone's like, how long does it take? It's not easy, but it's something that we're making huge progress on. The most, like, everything's pretty much working. It's just a matter of verifying now.
Yeah.
And it is tedious. Why is it tedious? We have more functions than is there any token that has even close?
No, we're at the limit.
We're literally at the limit. Nothing even comes close. If people on a technical level want to talk, like shop about, like the AOC guy or whatever from yesterday, it's like, you can shit talk if you don't understand the team or what we're doing. You can say that you don't like my hair because, it's pretty, but one thing they can't talk shit about is our token. It is like no other token. It is going to have a purpose like no other token. We're looking at some other payment systems. All the payment systems we see don't work like us. You check your tokens in with them. They front you the dollar amount. So if you give them what is calculated like $100 worth of random tokens, you say, here's my tokens, issue me a card, right? They give you $100 worth of credit. You go out and you pay, you buy a $10 sandwich, and they just take $10 of your tokens, transfer it from their account, which they have for you, to their own account that they don't have for you. So they transfer out your tokens worth, and you choose which tokens get to come out. Like, I want the, you can take my Tron tokens or something like that. So when you're making your purchases, it's like technically you're using cash. It's really kind of like, it's a clever way to do it, honestly, but it still is, you're using a card to swipe and all that kind of nonsense. It's not really you giving tokens, your tokens to the venue. That's not that type of transaction. And that's what we're doing, where you actually use your tokens as currency. You don't just, there's no money in the equation. Whereas all the other ones, the venues are just getting paid cash, which I guess the end effect, for the consumer is you have tokens, you spend tokens, you have less tokens. So for the consumer experience, it's very similar, but for the venues and for taxing purposes, they're just getting paid cash. There's still sales tax, there's still everything. There's no advantage to using it that way. It's minimal advantage. And I guess you do get to leverage your tokens, but it's kind of like a loan. I don't know. It's a different vehicle. I don't see anyone doing it our way. So maybe they know something we don't know. Well, it's fucking hard.
Yeah. It's not easy. You have to design. You can't design a token, then design a system around it. You have to design the system and then design the token to work with that system.
Hardest thing, minting or solving the no gas thing. Which one?
No gas.
No gas.
Yeah.
So the fact that
you have to bend some rules on that.
Yeah, there's bending rules and breaking rules, and we were trying to decide whether we bent a rule, like as you did some Matrix shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, where it's like some rules are meant to be bent and some are to be broken, and he's like, okay, so we got a problem here. We're transferring it. The customer has their Anubits. They don't have any fucking gas. How do you transfer that to a vendor without gas? What do we do? And I can't reveal what we did. Those that break down our contract are going to see it anyway. They're going to end up saying, they're going to be like, holy shit, they're wizards.
Well, they need Lola.
Yeah, that's true. Without
It
Lola,
won't work with Lola because then eventually you run out of gas.
Yeah, you have to.
Lola has to.
Somebody pays the gas. We did it in a very clever
Yeah.
mechanism where the gas is paid by a third party, and that's deducted from the transaction just to cover the gas fees. And it's but even if we were to prepay the gas, it's the sender, the initiator of the transfer that's supposed to, by the rules.
Yeah.
That's where the bend is. That's where the matrix stuff happens.
That
Because
sender is able to send tokens without any BNB.
we really broke a lot of rules on that one. That bent a lot of
it's
rules.
because we're not planning on always living on the Binance network. We're gonna have our own network. And at that point, gas won't be an issue for us.
Yeah.
Doing those types of cool things won't be a problem.
So when we're on our own blockchain, a lot of that stuff's solved. Running on Binance right now, we're gauging like at least 10 mil to even be able to think about our own blockchain.
It's about $250,000, but then marketing and getting all the other stuff ready, it's about 10 million.
So we're close. We're getting there. So we're working on it. A couple good days on an exchange would probably cover it. How sad is that?
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, we are going to get back to it. I'm going to, I don't, if chat's not working, I don't know how we do a trivia, no Fred in there. We got Rebel.
Tanya's, let me check with Tanya, see if she can.
Tondri. Chat is sporadic at best.
Even right here on
Both chats. So I see people.
yeah.
Um,
Refresh that page.
just refresh it. Let's refresh it. Oh,
Oh,
I just saw. Oh, well, any chat that was present is now lost. Let's do a giveaway. Let's test it. Go ahead and type, and I think it just given us an Anubit for each for being loyal. Yeah, Alan, I like that. Well, that is honestly why we do this. Is I really appreciate your loyalty. I appreciate everything that happens in Telegram, even when we're not in it. I know that it's well handled, and I know Adam steps up and does a lot in there. But frankly, all of you guys do. So this is a fun way to do it instead of just saying, here's some tokens and sprinkle them everywhere. I like doing a little challenge. So let's do one. What are the 3 letters of The token. What? Hold on.
Do you want me to just pull up Twitch on my phone so you can get real time?
Supposedly I can get real time. So yeah, she's gonna pull it up real quick. This way I can. There's no funny business, and Fred doesn't cheat if he's there. I don't know if Fred's there. A day without Fred is a pretty sad day. We got used to Fred. All right, so if anyone is participating, I will. Tanya's in.
Here.
Type R if you would like a chance to win. One winner. I'll let you handle it. You can handle it off screen. Tanya's in. No, Tanya, you're not. I assume Alan is in it to win it. Anyone else? Anyone else? All right.
Alan R.
Red Rebel and Alan. Sounds good. Let's go. So, the winner takes all. Two tokens. All right, Lena the Pirate.
That's Angelina.
Oh, that's Angelina. Aw, she's remote. You better not be driving. Is she driving? She getting her hair done, dude?
Yeah.
She's sitting there in the chair, getting her hair done, dude. So, all right, here we go. What is the 3 letters of the token that Binance delisted?
Hard one.
Yeah, no, it's a hard one.
Can you repeat that?
What are is the symbol, the 3 letters for the token that Binance recently delisted? I covered it in the news.
Just today?
I covered it today. And no, I'm not pulling up the news thing because that's just giving it to them. They got a boom, Yenadu, got it. No, yeah, Alan is it's not even fair because Alan's across. He's 5 seconds later. Is there a 5-second delay between the UK and here? I think it's close enough. I'll give Alan 1, Yenadu 2. Send me your addresses and a message that you're the winner. I'll square it up. I gotta go sit with Omar and verify some things. Gotta get back to testing. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate all that you guys do. Appreciate you guys checking this out and keeping us with the feet on our flames for involvement and transparency. It's really appreciated. So, and hopefully we have some really good news in the upcoming days.